Hello students, welcome to JS Tutorials. In the present session we will discuss about water demand. What is water demand? Water demand is nothing but the total quantity of water required by a town or a city. That total quantity of water required by a town or city is known as water demand. So how to estimate or calculate this water demand is, first of all, the city has to be divided into number of zones. Okay, it may be a domestic zone, civic zone, industrial zone, and trade and commerce zone, or others. Okay, as per Indian standards, each individual in a city or a town has been allocated 270 liters per head per day. Again, I am repeating because this is very important for your competitive exam. Each individual will be allotted, as per Indian standards, 270 liters per head per day. These 270 liters per head per day has to be contributed for various types of water demand. First one is domestic demand. In this 270 liters per head per day, 135 liters per head per day has to be utilized for domestic demand. It may be used for cooking, bathing, washing, cleaning, sanitary purposes, private gardening, vehicle cleaning, or domestication of animals. It may be used in any form, but this 135 liters has to be given for the public for domestic consumption. Okay, so to satisfy all the metabolic activities. Next one is civic or public demand. What is civic or public demand? Is sanitary purposes, public toilets, cleaning, washing, maintenance of parks, plantations, or decorations of city, like maintenance of fountains, etc., for which we have to allocate, or we have to contribute from this 270, we have to contribute 25 liters per head per day. Next one is industries. If a person is living in that particular city or a town, then he has to contribute 40 liters per head per day. Okay, so it may be any industry. It may be a paper industry, steel industry, jute industry, or textile industry, leather industry, or any other industry. So he has to contribute 40 liters per head per day. Next one is trade and commerce. Trade and commerce means it may be schools, colleges, or hospitals, any other. Okay, so for which we have to allocate 15 liters per head per day. Next one is losses or leakages. If there are any breakdown of pipeline system, so huge amount of water will be lost before replacement or repair or maintenance. So huge amount of water will be lost, so those losses can be considered under losses and leakages. Sometimes what happens is, in the earlier days, thefts, water thefts, that means illegal connections. Illegally they used to extract water from the public pipelines. So that is about different. Other demand is also there, that is fire demand. We will be discussing that in the next slide. Okay, so what is per capita demand? Per capita demand is very easy. It is nothing but the total quantity of water utilized by the public in a town per year is known as per capita demand. Again, I am repeating, the total quantity of water utilized by the public, that is population of a city or a town in a year, is known as per capita demand. Very easy. So we have seen all these things. Okay, so that is for domestic 135 liters, for industry 40, for public use 25, trade and commerce 15 liters, and here losses of thefts 55 liters per head, totally 270. We got it. Okay, so these figures or these values are very important for your competitive exam. Please remind. Next one is fire demand. Fire demand, you have to allocate a small amount of water So based on the public, based on the population of that particular city, we will be calculating. There are different types of formulas are there. These are all empirical formulas based on different parameters they have designed, and these formulas are very, very important for your competitive exams. You have to remember all these things. Just you have to substitute the population and you will be getting the quantity of water. It may be Boston formula, it may be John Free formula, or it may be national or Kuchling's formula. This is Kuchling's formula. Okay, so these are all important for your exam. Just substitute your population, remember the formula and substitute the formula. And this fire demand is very important for firefighting purposes. Certain amount of water has to be required for firefighting in the city in order to control the fire accidents or any other fire related accidents. This particular fire demand water should be preserved. Next one is factors affecting per capita demand. So increase and decrease of water demand. So at some cases, at some times we'll have high rates of increase of water demand. At some times we will be having low demand of water. So first one is climatic condition. So climatic condition during summers, so we will be utilizing more amount of water. And in why? Because we will go for more amount of water will be consumed, more amount of water will be used for bathing sessions and all. So and winter we will be using less amount of water for drinking as well as for bathing also. At some areas, some people they may not take the bathing because of the frozen conditions. So based on the climatic conditions, the water demand will be increasing or decreasing. Next is size of the community. Size of the community, if the population of a city increases, means here the domestic, it may be a domestic or it may be industrial water demand, whatever may be the water demand, the size of the community increases, the water decreases. If the size of the community decreases, the water demand decreases. Next is living standard of the people. So some people, based on the living standard of the people also, water demand may go rise or go down. Okay, some people they may be using for tub baths and all, most of the water will be used. So for that, water demand will be increased because of the higher utilization of water for the living standards of the people. Whereas in the low standard, they have to capture the water, they have to store, and they have to nicely utilize that. So standard of living also increase the involve in increase and decrease of the per capita demand of water. Next one is industrial or commercial activity. If a city is having more commercial activity or industrial activity, then consumption rate of water will be very high naturally. So the water demand will be very high. So of course they may purchase the water, but the water demand will be very increased in these particular sectors. Next one is pressure distribution. If the pressure is high in the distribution, then the people can go for high stored buildings like 3-stored, 4-stored, because the pressure is sufficient. They can use this pressure to make the water climb to number of stored. So thereby the water demand will be increased. If it is very low, then it cannot reach to its destination point. If it is very high, it can reach to the highest point. So either of the one is problematic. So water demand may increase because of the pressure increases. If pressure increases, then the supply will be increased, the supply will be more, and thereby utility will be more. That is, the demand will be increased. If the pressure is less, the water cannot be reached to the nearest point, thereby the demand decreases. Next one is system of sanitation. System of sanitation here means, so sanitation, cleaning purposes or washing purposes. For example, if we take the western commodes, so western commodes will utilize more amount of water when compared to the Indian commode. Hardly takes 1 bucket to 2 buckets to flush out the pieces, whereas the western commodes, it nearly requires 3 buckets of water. So comparatively the water demand will increase because of the system of sanitation. Next, cost of water. If the cost of water is high, then the demand will decrease. If the cost of water decreases, the demand increases. So vice versa here. Next one is variation in demand. So we can here variations in water demand in a day we can see, in a hourly basis also we can see, even seasonal as I said. In summer we will be utilizing more amount of water, in rainy and winter we will be utilizing less amount of water. But in agricultural sector, if you see utilization of water more in that is different story. We are only confined to the water supply here. So in the summer we will be utilizing more amount of water, surplus amount of water will be used. So seasonal variation, that is about seasonal variation. Daily variation, if you see the graph in the daily variation, so here water consumption is hours if you take. So that is in the early hours of the day we will not be using, the graph will be like slowly. At early hours we will not be using the water. At from 4 like that we will be using more amount of water till 12 o'clock. From 12 o'clock again the graph may go down. Okay, so that is till 4 again. Afternoon 4 we will not be using much amount of water. Again from 4 the graph may increase. So likewise it is a parabolic curve. That means in a day we are not using water uniformly. That means at some conditions we are having peak consumption of water. At some times like at midnight or it may afternoon times we will not be using much amount of water. So there is a daily variations, that is hourly variations we can see. Daily variations means in a day we are getting. So if you can calculate